Hey, 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 it's Tia, baby. And I am back with another video. So, before I begin this video, this is a disclaimer. Please do not hate me. If you do, oh well, I'm here to not be everybody's friend because you can't be everybody's friend. You can't satisfy everyone. But this video that I'm about to do today was really like talking to me after I looked at the article, well, read the article about Chris feeling excluded from the Netflix series. And I keep getting comments in reference to him and Melissa. But before I start that video, I want to say congratulations to Selena for being honored for the posthumous Lifetime Achievement Award for the Grammys that's coming up in next year in January. I didn't know what posthumous meant, so I looked it up, and it's basically saying it's something that happens after someone dies, which is described as posthumous, and it's like a posthumous interest in the music of a singer who died. But then when it said who died of nobody, I was like, hold up, but she didn't die of nobody. She was very well known. She may have not been very well known overall in all cultures, but she was very well known. She was very popular, and she was transitioning to the mainstream world. So it wasn't like she died of nobody. Please get that correct. So if that's what that means, they need to change the name to just Lifetime Achievement Award or something, and drop the posthumous. But I didn't like that definition. But that's congratulations in order. It's a little bittersweet moment for me. I'm not over elated because it's a constant reminder she's not here to appreciate the many gifts and rewards that has been received throughout her career. I just wish that she was here to get everything that she deserved, that she got in death, that I wish she would have got it in life, because she was supposed to be here. There was no reason for her to die that young, that way, period. And I want to say kudos to Martin Gomez, because I never, talked about him, but I'm going to say kudos to him because I believe that man is Superman. He could have saved her life because he was the only sane person back then, in my opinion, that was the one fighting for Selena in terms of, the issues that was going on with Yolanda. Like, he was the one that was going to Abraham, going to Selena, going to people saying, this woman, I'm afraid for my life. I'm afraid for Selena's life. Like, this woman is going to physically, hurt Selena. And I don't mean, and he was like, I don't mean, not physically hurt, but, harm Selena. And he was saying he don't mean figuratively, he meant literally. And the way that we feel about that whole scenario is how he was feeling back then, and he spoke up about it. But of course, Selena brushed it off because she didn't believe him. Then because she didn't believe him, he went to Abraham, and he brushed it off. Nobody was like saying maybe this guy is right. Like, we need to just do some type of investigation, something. Nobody. He was the only one, him and her staff members, but he was the only one that was really vocal and passionate about it. So I want to say kudos to him for trying his ultimate best. And then that's it. So this video is going to be, like I said, this is going to be about Chris, and this is my true feelings about Chris. In no way am I saying that Chris is a bad person, but I will say this. Maybe after I say what I say, maybe this is one of the reasons why the Quintanillas have been treating him the way they've been treating him, or have been a little, distant towards him, because this is why. So in this article that I post the title of it in my on my Instagram, I believe. No, was it on my Instagram? No, it was on the community board on YouTube. for viewers and supporters to see. So this is what the article was saying. So of course it said it's been 25 years since Selena Quintanilla's untimely death, and the endless love between the Queen of Tejano music and her husband Chris Perez is still alive and well. So let's see this endless love, and between Chris and Selena is still alive and well, which I love. Period. This is what Chris said, according to this article. I've never had the kind of love that I had with Selena. Perez, 51, that's how old he is, told the Post of his late wife, who was gunned down at 23 by the president of her fan club, Yolanda Saldivar, in March 95. This is what else he said. Selena's way of being made me realize the power in being vulnerable. Like, no matter what, you're going to take your heart out figuratively and get on one knee and hand it to that other person. And I've never done that. But he's done that. He felt, this is how he felt to her. He's never felt that way about nobody else. So he was describing how he felt. Period. Cool. I'm glad about it. I'm glad. Like, when I was smiling, when I read this, I was like, oh, he is still gushing over her. Yes. That's the type of love I want. Well, I want that love. I want that type of love where, both of us are like, myself and my significant other are like deep in love. Like, they are deep in love. But let's finish. Of course, they talked about Selena and Perez's relationship and how it was, because it says Selena and Perez are more prohibido. Her father initially disapproved of the relationship, captivated global audiences in the 1997 blockbuster biopic Selena, who starred Jennifer Lopez. All right, so then they said now their underlying adoration is back in the spotlight after the release of the Netflix Selena series. So I'm looking up and down because, I want to give y'all everything without leaving nothing out. Well, I'm just giving y'all the important stuff. So yes, I'm reading some of the important stuff in the article. So it says that, however, Perez, who served for 6 years as the leading guitarist of his wife's family band, Selena y Los Dinos, was neither consultant nor involved in the making of the biographical drama produced by Selena's father and sister, Abraham and Suzette Quintanilla. Even though there has been articles and there has been talks that Suzette was the main one that was, involved. Like, Abraham wasn't really involved as much, but he was still, the producer, one of the producers. So this is what was said by Chris. You can line us all up, the guys in the band and the members of our family, and ask us to tell the full story of all the things we experienced together, and it'll be the same story, but told from a bunch of different perspectives. And the Selena series is their perspective. That's his opinion on it. Okay, that's fine. If that's what you say, I mean, he said it. He said that everyone has the same story, but just told in a different way. How's that? In my opinion, I'm just like confused by that, because I'm like, how is that the same? Then that's not the same. If it's told different, that's the key word, different. So somewhere in that story, in those many different perspectives, at the end should be pretty much the same. And so far in the series, and what I've read from his book and what he's told, is totally two different stories. I mean, it seems like the series is based on Suzette's perspective, in my opinion. I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong in the comment section, but that's what I get. And this is in the book. His book is his perspective. But I will believe, but I'm not even talking about like the performances and all that, because we got all that from the movie. I'm talking about the love between Chris and Selena. I'm going to believe Chris's perspective versus Suzette's perspective in the series because she didn't live that. She wasn't in their relationship. Chris was, and Selena was. But Chris is the only living person that was involved in that relationship or marriage that's here to tell it. So I'm going to believe him versus her. And like I said, based on that series, it was totally different from what he said. But I guess that's a nice. I guess he's saying this. This is his nice way of saying. Sorry that I'm tongue tied. That this is his nice way of saying, you know, hey, if this is what she or whoever is involved with the series want to say, this is what it's about, or this is what went down, then that who am I to tell them X, Y, and Z? That's their perspective. I'm going to, you know, respect their perspective. I have my perspective, they have their perspective, and that's it. So period. I'm not saying no more about that. But he was like, nothing. He said that the Netflix project is likely due to the reason why that, well, according to this article, nypost.com, it was saying that the Netflix project is likely due to former contentions with his estranged in-laws. So due to the fact that he had signed that document back in '95, a month and a half after Selena passed, that he, you know, can't really do a lot of things regarding to Selena because Abraham presented him with a document. That could be the reason why he wasn't approached to be involved with this series. But that's some bullshit because he was involved with the movie, because it was his hands that were in the movie when they had Chris, the person that played Chris, to audition for the band. They used the actual Chris to do that. So he was involved in that movie, and that movie came out in '97, but they were filming in '96. He had already signed the document. So I think that's a lie, or I think that's some bullshit. But hey, I think maybe that's just maybe that's what he assumed. But come on now, you were involved in the movie. You were in the movie. Your hands were. But let's go on. But he also stated that himself and Abraham have not spoken since the lawsuit back in 2016. And the suit, was a successful attempt to block a television adaptation of the memoir that Chris wrote in his book, Selena, in 2012, Selena with Love. This is what he says. I am a believer that if you truly ever did love somebody, you don't just stop loving them. And this is his confirmation about Selena. So he's a believer of love, and he is saying, according to this article, that he's never stopped loving her, which we all know. So there's always going to be that love and respect for her family. But things are not as good as they should be, and that hurts. So he's hurt that things are not, that they're not as tight as they once were, you know, as a family, him and her family. And it hurts him. And that's fine. He's entitled to feel that way. And that would hurt me too if that was me in that situation. I don't want to be in that situation. But okay. So it went on and talked about the marriage between him and Vanessa Villanueva. And they said he met through a mutual friend in 2021, 6 years after Selena's death. The couple welcomed 2 children, Cassie, 22, and Noah, 15, before divorcing in 2008. Okay, so I talked about their marriage in another video, so you can, you know, check that out. Although fully engaged in his although fully engaged in his new life as a father, musician, and more recently a hot pepper sauce entrepreneur, Perez continues to feel the pangs of the passing of Selena every day. Totally get it. I don't fully understand it, but I totally get it, to the point where I've lost my grandmother back in 2002, and to this day, I privately still grieve over her. I privately, you know, cry just out the blue to myself, thinking about her. We share birthdays. Well, our birthdays are not on the same day, but they're like 3 days apart. Her birthday was May 2nd. Mine's May 5th, Cinco de Mayo. And we were like this, very close. And it's been 18 years, I would say, since she's passed, and it's still hard. Every day it gets better, but it's still hard when you think about her, when you think about your lost loved ones, you know, wishing that they were still here. So I can understand that feeling. Now, this is what he said about Vanessa. When I got remarried, that was me trying to downplay Selena's death in my life. It was too painful. I never talked about Selena's death, he said. Getting remarried and starting a new life was a way to get over losing her. I thought getting remarried would help, and it did, but the pain is still there. It'll always be there. Now, I talked about their marriage, you know, in another video, and I understand that that's the only thing he thought would help, you know, cope. But you have to think about the other person in your life that in a way that's a selfish decision to have married somebody to get over somebody else, because this person that you married has feelings for you, love you, and you basically took their feelings for granted so you can feel better. But what about them? Did you really love this person? Or did you just only marry her to get over Selena, or not get over Selena, but get over losing her too, to kind of like numb the pain? So that's my question. Like, that's my question. And that's why I do feel for Vanessa in a way, because it wasn't fair on her behalf, because she genuinely probably loved him in the beginning, but she couldn't fight. She probably got tired of fighting for her love and fighting for attention from a husband who is clearly still, you know, locked in love with someone else before her. But but according to the article that I read when I talked about their marriage in the other video, she was allegedly a gold digger. Like, she was like taking stuff from him, all about money, buying expensive stuff, using him and stuff. So she probably wasn't even the right one for him anyway. But I don't know. That's just what I read in the article. Don't judge me on it. That's allegedly. Okay. So Perez finally remembers being in an amazing place of love with Selena in the days leading up to her murder, when she got, you know, killed in that hotel. He talks about, you know, that they eloped, that he was like, we eloped on April 2nd, 1992, and she died March 31st, 1995. So she died 2 days before our wedding anniversary. And he said, so every year around that time, I try not to let my heart and mind think about her too much, because the feelings are just too intense. It's still a constant struggle, period. And then it goes on to say, despite the agony of his loss, Perez said he does not feel any lingering animosity towards Saldivar, who is currently serving her life sentence at the Mountain View unit and maximum security women's prison in Gatesville, Texas. She is eligible for parole in 2025, and I will have a video about Yolanda, not next week, because I'm not going to do a video next week, but the week after. So stay tuned for that. So then it went down and he says that that he still sees his late love in his dreams. And this is what he says. It happens on a daily basis. She comes to me either when I'm sleeping or in a daydream. He says, you know, he also said, who is open to possibilities of one day writing another book about life with and after Selena. So it might be a part 2 in the making. It might be a part 2. Stay tuned for that. Let's hope. And he says that when she's in his dreams, he says she encourages him to keep his head up. He also says I hear her talking to me all the time. And even though she was taken from us at such a young age so many years ago, when I hear her spirit talking to me, I hear who I believe she would be now. Today, as if she had been here with me, sharing my life experiences all the time. So that's basically all. So this is my take on this. She is the one. She is the one for him. And I just felt like a heavy load. Like, it just felt, it felt funny. But that's his woman. That's the number. I mean, of course his mom is, number one. But that's the lady of his life. That's his forever wife. That's who she is. Selena is his forever wife. Hashtag forever wife, everyone. That's a love that will never end. And like I said before, he gave his heart to her a long time ago and vice versa, and he never got it back. So this little stuff that y'all saying in the comments, oh, we heard that Melissa and him are married. This is my opinion, and this is my thought on this. If they are married, she don't know her worth, for one, and she's comfortable living in the back burner because this man just dedicated his love to his late wife. Not one thing has he talked about how much he loved Melissa, how much this person was there for him when he was down and out or whatever, all these years. Nothing about her. And I wouldn't, this is me as a woman, I wouldn't want to live a life like that. And I have a clip of some YouTubers that talked about something like that. Not about their situation, but just, celebrities in general who have lost a spouse or who have divorced their first spouse and they remarried, but then they grew, as they got older, they became really, really, really close with their first spouse or whatever the case may be. And it was like, they basically said that if it was me, I would be jealous. That's what they said. I would be jealous. And I would be too. Like, I don't see how she is not jealous. Because yes, you have this love for Selena. You had this love for Selena before you even got with Chris. But you chose this life. So, and these people in this comment section are saying, well, he's protecting her from Selena fans. Why does he need to protect her? She's been in this industry before she's dated Chris. She knows the ins and outs of this industry just like any other celebrity. She can handle herself. She knew what she was doing when she got with him. So he don't need to protect her. And maybe he's trying to protect her because he feels this constant guilt of not protecting, feeling like he did not protect Selena when she needed to be protected back then. So he's making up for lost time with her. I don't know. But I feel like that's bullshit because that's just his way of saying, if that is true, if that's why he's hiding her or not really, downplaying their relationship, then that's bullshit because if you really want it to be known, you will let it be known. Now, I know he's a private person, but at the end of the day, if people are saying you're married to this person, then I would think as a person that's in the public eye, you should confirm it. Don't sit up there and downplay it or say nothing and just have everybody just saying all these things. And to be honest, if they are together, fine. Be together. Act like it. But don't put her on a back burner because you're trying to so-called protect her from Selena. And like I said, if they are married, the marriage ain't shit, to be honest, in my opinion, because this man is fully in love with Selena. And I feel like, to me, you can have all these girlfriends and all this other stuff all you want, but at the end of the day, his whole heart is with her. His whole heart is with Selena. So, sorry for this ghetto-ness, the ghetto-ness. Anyway. Okay. Anyway, sorry about that. But yeah, not trying to hate on Melissa, but this man, I feel like, okay, you know what? I feel like this. If you're not emotionally over someone that you've lost, and if you're not like a spouse or anything like that, I don't think you should be remarrying nobody. You can have your fun, but I don't think you should be remarrying anybody. I mean, but it's his life. He can do what he want, but why? And that's when this will brings me to the point where I think that maybe the Quintanillas don't care for him too much, because they probably like, okay, well, we see him in these interviews talking about how much he loves Selena, how much it seems like he wished she was still here and that he want to be with her and still want to be with her and all this. But yet he's shacking up with this woman every now and then, going to New York every now and then with this woman. But he's saying something totally different in the interviews, and that's may be the reason why they don't really see eye to eye with him like that, because it's like, how you gonna talk about our daughter or our sister like you really want, like there's nobody other than her, but yet we see this other chick you shacking up with. I'm just saying, it don't look good. It don't look good at all. And like I said before, I don't see the damn connection between the two. She is too young. She's too young. Now, like too young. Like their lives just seem totally opposite, completely. But like I said, maybe this is his way of having fun. You know, I don't know. I don't see no connection between the two at all. This man clearly, his whole heart is with Selena, and that's fine. But if you choose to move on by marrying somebody else, then you need to act like you've moved on. Not saying forget about Selena, not saying don't talk about Selena, but just watch what you say about Selena out of respect for this new woman in your life if you choose to move on. If not, then just be friends with the chick. I'm just saying. And also my point about this, because I've like I said, I pointed out other celebrities that have lost spouses and they don't talk about them that much, and they have moved on with their lives and done, you know, all of that. But this is one celebrity that I did not know that was married before. President Biden. Like, I read an article that he was married before. I thought that the wife that he was with was his first wife. His first wife passed away 40-something years ago on Christmas Day or around Christmas. His first wife and his baby daughter, they died in a car accident. And I didn't even know this about him because he never talked about it. And the article was showing that him and his second wife, his current wife, and their kids. Well, he has 3 kids with his first wife. One of them passed away in the accident, and their son that they share passed away like a few years ago from an illness. And I think they have another son that still living. And then his second wife, his current wife, and him have a daughter together. So they all went to the gravesite of his first wife and his baby daughter to, you know, pay their respects. And in the article, it was saying that when it happened, this is when he just got sworn into the Senate. And when it happened, when he found out about it, like he even contemplated on suicide, or he was very depressed. And his second wife got him out of it. She was, you know, at first she was like, how am I going to make this family whole again? But she did it, and she's his rock. But we would not have known that he was even married before had this article not come out, because he don't really talk about it. And this doesn't mean that he don't still love his first wife. He definitely still love his first wife. She was taken from him prematurely along with their daughter. I think their baby daughter was like 11 months old at the time. But, you know, time passed on, and he remarried, I think 5 years later, and he's been with her, and she's the one that helped him through his despair and all of that. So this is what I'm saying. But this is on another level with Chris and Selena. Like, his love is like, that's his love. Like he said, that's his endless love. That's endless love. That's a true definition of endless love. Endless love. But the thing about it is, if you choose to move on by seeing other people or remarrying, then you need to act like it. You shouldn't be hiding anything. Out of respect for Selena, what about the respect for the woman that you're with? Like, I'm not disclaiming nothing. Don't hate me. I'm just being real. I'm not living in a fantasy world. I would love for Chris and Selena to be together forever. Like, I would love for her to come back, if there was a way for her to come back and they can be together. Like, it's Team Chris and Selena forever for me. That's his forever wife. He even said it. She will always be his wife. But that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe that's why, one of the reasons why the Quintanillas don't really see eye to eye with him. Maybe that could be because, I mean, it is over the internet that he was messing around with her. So I don't know. Like, I don't know. But again, congratulations to Selena and her achievement award that she will be receiving in January. And I will be back with another video, not next week, but the week after, January 8th, I believe, which is the Friday after next. And I'll be talking about Yolanda. So stay tuned for that. And Merry Christmas. If you believe in Merry Christmas, if you celebrate Christmas, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, Happy Kwanzaa, Feliz Navidad, and Happy New Year. Let's bring 2021 to light. Let's hope that everything will turn around into a positive light, and meaning everybody will regain health, wealth, prosperity, all of that good stuff. And I will see you next time. Peace.